this is an okay bar for running into you. It's an awful house, and I wanted to get you out. I'm working on a plan right now to come through. I've waited for a lifetime.
Hello friends, this is me trying to get a video out on time. I already started a vlog, but I'm not going to get it finished in time. And I didn't want to mess up the schedule, so I decided this was a good idea. So in this video, I'll be talking about my manga and comic book collection. Maybe my records too. At least all the stuff that inspired my book, or my manga, whatever you want to call it, the Higgs Program, which is out now. Chapter 2 is out at this current time. So link and buy, go check it out. In elementary school, I remember my dad and I would go to the comic book shop every Wednesday, and I loved it. The comic book shop that I went to was Past, Present, Future. I did a photo shoot there. I'll pop it up on the screen. And yeah, that's the comic book shop I've always gone to and I always love. It's humongous, it's comic booky, it's nerdy. They used to do Yu-Gi-Oh! Contests there when I was a kid. That's how I really got into Yu-Gi-Oh! But I remember way back before there was digital, there was so many books going out. Obviously, you can't keep track of everything back then because there was no apps to keep track of all that. And they'll give you this sheet of paper that had all the ongoing books, and you just check off which ones you want to read. So whenever those books come, the comic book shop will stash them in a box for you. So when the next time you come in, you say your name, and they have like a stack of books that you're gonna pick up. And I loved it. I had so many of those stacks of books, and I guess just over time, I had boxes, legit boxes full of these comic books that I just did not want to throw away. And when doing this video, I went back to it recently and I saw all these books. I was like, oh my gosh, these are just great freaking stories. And of course I picked out the ones I'm talking about in this video, but I also saw some ones that I completely forgot about and I read up again, and they're just great stories. And this is the first series that my dad has forced upon me to like, and eventually I loved them. It was the New Mutants. I love the New Mutants. The New Mutants was the X-Men, was my X-Men before I got into the X-Men, if that makes sense. At least the version I read, which came out in 1987, they're just kid versions of the X-Men. They don't know what they're doing. They have all these crazy powers, and you go on these X-Men level missions, but as teenagers, and they have their own issues and stuff. I love it. The next series that I fully got into myself and just finished, at least the version of that, was Young Avengers. This was a great story. It's about a group of kids who are associated with the Avengers in some kind of way. They become a team and just do heroic stuff. Eventually the Avengers do pick them up and they get trained up to become the official Young Avengers, but for the first 10 issues they're just underground heroes that suits and powers are just resembling of the Avengers, and I loved it. Next on the list is Deadly Class. I got into this series pretty recently, actually. Within this year I got into them. I love how the pages look, the story, the characters. They're not scared to kill off anybody in this book, and I love that. It's about like it's about a school that trains kids to become assassins, and they have like different gangs, different races, all going to the same school just to become assassins. It's a great series. X-Men. My dad is a crazy X-Men fan. I have the X-Men symbol tatted on me right now. Me and my dad both have it. We have matching tattoos. Just a little cute father and son bonding, you know. Yeah, so me and my dad are crazy about X-Men. Then the current series that they have right now, I think it's called Fall of the X. So good. So good. The X-Men movies, however, so bad. So bad. This book that I have in my hand, again, 1980s. See, I've been on this. I was born in 1999, so I wasn't born during this time. But my dad just had stacks of it from just years of going to a comic book shop, and he just gave them to me, and I loved it. Loved it. The last book that I'll talk about is called The Runaways. A group of kids whose parents belong in like some evil society and they want no part of it, and they run away. When they run away, they discover that they have some powers too, and they just try to survive just based off what they have. They become homeless a couple times, aliens, mutants, robots, time travelers. Like, this series has it all when it comes to everything. I like how they have different artists working on each volume. Great idea. I think that inspired my idea of it too. But yeah, great series.
Honey, I told you once. Baby, I told you twice. Don't come around here. Don't come around here no more. Honey, I told you once. Baby, I told you twice. Don't come around here. Don't come around here no more. I sit waiting.
I believe I got into mangas around, I think, elementary school too. I remember the first book I picked up was Naruto, and I picked up the book in a Barnes and Nobles in Toronto when I was like in 4th or 5th grade, and then I was just blown away. Again, I was already into comic books, so the fact that there was comic books in a different country that a whole different style and aesthetic, that it blew me away. So I got into it very, very quickly. First one on the list is Akira. I got the 35th anniversary box set, and it came with like all hardcover versions of the books and like a art book and a patch. But I love Akira. I got hooked when I saw the movie, and just what they could do at that time period was amazing. It still keeps up with current animation. I believe so. My friends beg to differ, but I love it. Next one is Sakamoto Days. This series is underrated. It's underrated now, but if this book ever gets a manga, ever gets an anime adaptation, it's gonna blow up. People are gonna love this series. It's so good. Next one on the list is Chainsaw Man. I love Chainsaw Man. I love Chainsaw Man Part 1. Part 2 is really good, but it's just very slow. But Part 1 is where it hooked me. The fast pacing, the stories, the characters, the monsters, the devils, all just beautiful. Like, you never know what's gonna happen next in the most beautiful way possible. The last manga series I'll be talking about is Jujutsu Kaisen. Bro, what can I say about the series that has not already been said? This series is honestly amazing. My favorite character is Yuta. Obviously, I have a statue of him over there, and I think my character is a little bit influenced by Yuta. I only have Volume 0 and Volume 20, and it's only because Yuta's the main one in both of those. But I know that they're going to make a box set for these, so I'll just get the box set whenever it releases, because obviously there's going to be a box set.